Yeah, definitely, and that's what I was thinking about too. Are some of the guys that he coached throughout the years, and what they've done from beginning of their career to finishing. And I think he made the comment too, and whenever he was talking to him after getting the job, that he comes from a long line of coaches that know football, and I think that's huge. I mean, if anybody in the state knows how to win in high school football, I think it's Danny Horn. So I'm excited for him to have the opportunity to get Danny to spread that coaching tree out there a little bit, and then eventually, maybe one day he gets to come back home again. So.
Wouldn't be the worst thing ever.
Yeah, we're excited to see what he can do and wish him all the luck too. But when Ben Russell comes to town, I hope we beat him.
Oh, definitely. So no doubt about that. But we'll talk a little bit also today about the star pitcher and standout for the Lady Generals, Kinsley Ray Blasingame, K Ray for those that have been following her for a while.
Talking about K9, we're talking about K9 earlier today. If they keep up with K9 and high school softball, then she has to lead the state, because we had her on last year and she was talking about how many strikeouts that she had, and she's dominant. She's probably about as dominant as it gets.
All right, last week in a 17-0 shutout against Central Coosa, in 4 innings, she had 11 strikeouts, allowed 2 hits and 3 walks.
So that means one batter didn't strike out. One of the outs in the game didn't strike out. That's it.
And then after that, they go and beat Verbena 8-0. She led the Generals at the plate with 2 hits, one of which was an RBI, and she had 15 strikeouts in 7 innings. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say about this young lady other than that the Troy Trojans are getting a tremendous asset to their team, both as a pitcher and as a hitter. I'm not sure. Obviously, she'll be going on the pitching end, but if they need somebody on the hitting end as well, she could definitely be someone who adds some mojo there. But with the popularity of softball growing the way it is, especially in the Southeastern Conference, I think you're starting to see more girls out there. Like when we grew up, everybody played softball. And, I mean, those girls were good, especially your class and my class combined. They were really, really a productive group in terms of winning. But I think that you're starting to see more girls come out and want to play.
How many times would she strike you out of 10 times? Because I've seen you hit in slow pitch softball, and I've seen you strike out in slow pitch softball.
This is the thing. All right, let's preface.
Do you think she would go 10 for 10 on striking you out?
Never.
I bet she would.
Let's preface this.
Somebody was laughing in the background because they heard that. And you looked around like, who was that? But that's why they were laughing. Because they know it's true. They know it's true.
And this. I want to preface by saying this. I like speed. I wasn't a good all-speed pitch hitter. If it had any break to it, anything like this, I would have been.
I don't think you realize how close they are to the plate, though, in softball.
I think you got to start swinging as soon as it happens.
Yeah, you have to make up your mind. Like it's probably equivalent to facing like a 95, 96 mile an hour fastball. Like in baseball, you got to make a decision of you got to go.
15 pitches with Kendall. How many do you hit?
Out of 15?
15.
6. Late. Foul.
No,
in play. Any kind
I think you could touch probably. I think you could touch 6. I'm not going to say, that sounds like a lot.
It does sound like a lot. I would say I get 3 of them.
I think I get 3. That sounds good, though. In real, that's somebody.
He threw one curveball, though, to start it off, I'll be done.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be out of the box already. Be out of the box. But Luke Robinson and Justin Clayton have kind of had some pretty neat ideas of how we can incorporate Kendall and maybe doing some things with our Sports Blitz team. And I would love the opportunity to just, I'd catch. I don't even want to hit. I just want to try to catch him, I think.
I want to be in the box. He threw, in his first start of the season against the Angels, he threw a sinker to Cameron Maben that Cameron Maben took a swing that you and I would take. It was dirty. I mean, this pitch was just nasty. The lower outside part of the plate. I want to see that pitch in real life. I want to be in the batter box to see what that looks like, because it looked like it was unhittable, and he acted like it was unhittable. I think he half-heartedly swing at the pitch.
I think it'd be one of those things where you hear people saying this ain't the wreck.
Yeah, exactly. I tell Tim Rape at work that his son Sean, somebody not familiar, Sean Rape pitches for Jacksonville State. He's one of those guys that can put it in there too, 92, 93. In that area, and I tell him out of 10 pitches or out of 10 at bats, I'd get at least 3 hits off of him, and Tim wants to fight me.
I
Wants to
think that
fight me.
if see with
He's like, "There's
somebody
no
like
way."
Sean throws strikes, so but somebody maybe somebody like with Kendall, who I know is going to put the ball around the plate, I can
Yeah.
at least feel more comfortable
That's
with.
what I
Like I
am.
know,
what
it's
I
not
am.
Randy Johnson out there
Yeah.
slinging, one of those type of pitchers. But if it's Aroldis Chapman up there, and I don't even know if I could bunt the ball. So at least, Kendall's throwing 97, 98. Don't get me wrong, but at least I know it's around the strike zone.
And I saw 96 one time in the box, and you can't see it. You just can't see it. Like you got like you said, you got to make your mind up before the ball is released.
Which makes baseball and softball even more impressive.
What is 102 then? What does 102 look like? You see it? Period.
I don't know. That's intense, man. And so, for somebody that's why those that matchup with him and Trot was so intense, and even the matchup with him and Pujols. He made a Hall of Famer look silly.
Yeah.
So to see what he was able to do there, and just I don't know. I think pitching now is really because everybody can. But a lot of people.
Oh, no doubt.
56% of the league's throwing 95 plus. So what are you doing? So you have a lot of throwers now. I think that's where Kendall's going to separate himself. You have a lot of throwers. Kendall's a pitcher, and so he really works at his craft. Not to say there's other guys don't, but he really works at his craft. And so for somebody who was sitting at that speed he was, and now to go from 97, 98, you throw a sinker at 87, 88, or change up at 87, 88, and there's that differential of speed. It's going to be pretty tough to hit.
And I think one of the important things, too, is his 95, 96 has movement on it, too.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of guys in major leagues, they throw 98 miles an hour, but if it's flat and the ball is on a dart and it's going exactly where then these guys will crush it. Even at the college level, if they're throwing the ball and it's straight and it's flat, they're going to crush it. But if you're throwing 94, 95 and you got some tail on it or you got some run to or something like that, then you're going to be hard to hit. I think that's what Kendall's doing, and that's why he's having so much success, too, is because everything he's throwing is moving. Either it's diving in on them or it's running away from them with a cutter or where it may be. So it's just one of those fun things. And I think Kinsley Blasting is doing the same thing because obviously she's throwing something that somebody can't hit.
I'm interested to see that. I'm going to talk to her and see. And the thing is, you can, not to jinx anybody, but
Do you think
you can throw, softball 100 times. It's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah. But let's try to set it up and see if we can get it hit off.
All right, we'll go.
But do you think that's why there's a lot of slap hitters in softball? Because some of these like it'd probably be easier to hit her if you were just slapping. Because if you got any kind of long swing at all whatsoever, you're done.
Yeah,
you're done. Because I'm sure she's throwing gas.
Well, let's set it up. We're gonna get you out there.
17 people.
I think we're gonna do an interview with her next week.
All right.
We're going to figure out a way to get out there. And I just want to see if I can just knock a couple. God, we'll
yeah.
get embarrassed out there. I think.
No, right?
We'll get embarrassed out there.
But you could be too bad because she is going to pitch for Troy. So she's balling.
True that. Well, guys, we'll go ahead and take another break, and we will return. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the things happening on the local end, as well as talk about something that has been a mainstay in the Alexander City area, Lake Martin area for a while, which is Relay for Life. Go ahead and take another break. More of the Lake Martin Sports Roundup Show presented to you by JR Sports Bar and Grill right after this. And to the Late Martin Sports Roundup Show. Scott Hardy, Adam Blankenship here with you for the next 15 minutes or so, kind of wrapping up things on today's show. We've had an opportunity to discuss Kendall Graveman and what an excellent start he's had, 2-0 for the A's. We can't wait to see how the rest of this season matures for him, but either way, it's been really exciting to just follow this journey and ride with him, and being as close of friends are with his brother. It's been a lot of fun to really get some inside scoop on some things that happen around the Oakland area. We've also talked about Josh Everett, who is the new head coach for the Horseshoe Bend Generals, former Alabama Crimson Tide player. Roll Tide. Yeah, I mean, I guess I got to say it for
no, you want
the Generals, but all SEC, all American, all academic SEC team. There was a lot happening there in 2002, 2003. So not only do they get a good coach, they also get an academician. So maybe, that translates to a different brand of football. Maybe he's a little more analytical on that end. Also, Tal Morrison leads Benjamin Russell for Chilton County. And obviously you hate to lose such a great coach and mentor and person who actually was the person responsible for the recruiting efforts for Benjamin Russell. So there'll be a transition on that end, but really excited for him to get that opportunity. We talked about the Alabama Bass Trail and how this previous weekend with over 200 boats in town, what that does not only for the exposure at the lake, but what it does for our community in terms of an economic impact from the tourism side. So that looks to be something where you'll see some more of that connection with bass. Our chamber has been doing an outstanding job on that end. Taylor Phillips, Benjamin Russell Sr., will travel on to the big CACC and continue her softball career there. And also kind of talking about Miss K9, K-Ray, Kinsley Ray Blasingame for the Horseshoe Bend Generals, just an outstanding pitcher and hitter as well. 15 strikeouts rather in 7 innings, and she had 11 strikeouts in 4 innings. So it's just been really incredible to watch the maturation of her as a pitcher as well. But Blank, as we talked about before the break, something that our area has been involved in for quite some time is Relay for Life. So the Relay for Life of Tallapoosa County Superhero Purple Power 5K 1 mile fun run will be Saturday, May 6th.
5K 1 mile fun run.
Yeah, that's what I got. I'm just read what I'm getting. Saturday, May 6, 2017, 3:30 p.m. at the Charles Bay Sportsplex. They have registration forms available here, and we will have some up here for you as well. But the registration fee is $20 for the 5K and $10 for the 1 mile fun run, and you can make those checks payable to Relay for Life of Tallapoosa County. And again, don't necessarily have to run, but if you just want to make that donation, that works as well. But we do want to relay some things on the housekeeping end. JR Sports Bar and Grill each Wednesday at 8 o'clock has their karaoke night, and the whole month of April will consist of donations going to Relay for Life. So this is Relay for Life month for JR Sports Bar and Grill here on their karaoke Wednesdays. But Blank, let's kind of transition over on some national things. Anything going on in particular that this caught your eye, maybe storyline wise? I don't know if you had a chance to watch the 8A game, and I know Andy and I will be all.
Tell me a little bit about that. I'm sure y'all going to be talking a ton about that, but I didn't keep up much with the Auburn 8A game. I know y'all were all just glued to TV watching Stidham and everything, but did he pretty much throw a bunch of safe passes and make him look really good?
No,
or
I'm not
you
gonna
feel
lie.
good about it?
I'm not gonna lie. With
Hold
Blake
on.
Sims.
Here we come.
No, I'm just saying with Blake Sims, even somebody like a Dak with the Cowboys, there was a lot of dink and dunk, short intermediate passes, letting the receivers do the work. He was throwing bombs. He really was throwing bombs. And I'm not going to say anything to kind of, overhype him like I did with 6 guys. I'm not going to put all that pressure on him.
We'll save that for 7 to 9.
Yeah.
Tune in 7 to 9 Sports Blitz tonight for all your overreaction on Jared Stidham tonight.
No, I mean, Stidham really did. I mean, it wasn't like he had no – I mean, he comes from Baylor, that style of play. I think Chip Lindsey really is going to be a jolt to the program in terms of the same way I thought that Malzahn was when he came. Sometimes you just need a different vision and a different area or a style of doing things. And I think Chip Lindsey with his aerial attack, especially downfield, and that's something that you didn't really see a lot last year. I don't know whether or not it was arm strength from Sean White because he wasn't healthy, or the incapabilities of somebody like a John Franklin III to throw anything underneath. So they knew you were going to throw it deep, and Jeremy Johnson was just Jeremy Johnson. So really to have the opportunity to really exploit some of the mismatches that you would hope that you would have with somebody like a Nate Craig Myers out there who had an outstanding A-Day. So I don't know, Blank. I really thought that as a whole and from a local perspective, C.J. Talbert, 9 carries, 30 yards, and a touchdown for him. So representing the day where he's had 2 back-to-back, where he's had back-to-back A-Day games where he had flashes of someone who could be a contributor to the offense. So at least from a local level, I think that they're represented very well, and I can't wait to see what Whitlow will be able to do as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm telling you, I'm really, really excited about watching Whitlow. You know, I'm not a big Auburn fan or anything, but I do enjoy. I did enjoy watching him play this year. I look forward to seeing what he can do. I'm hoping he's going to contribute and get a chance to get the ball in his hands, because that's what you need to do.
You know who looked terrible? I didn't mean to cut you off. You know who looked terrible? Woody Barrett looks terrible. I'm not going to say he looked terrible, but he was like, I could see why I was like, just burn the red shirt. Like, it doesn't matter at this point. Just bring him in.
It all makes sense.
Didn't really look all that good of the 3 that played. I mean, I don't know. I thought Malik Willis played really well, and he's kind of been the comp to Nick Marshall. But instead of 16 for 20, 267 yards and a touchdown, that was a rushing touchdown. But Nate Craig, 5 for 154. Will Hastings, my boy Will Hastings, going to be a killer in the slot. Another Bill Belichick soon-to-be player in the next couple of years.
The kicker?
No, Will Hastings, 7 for 70. I'm done with you, man.
I can't keep up with y'all. I just insert.
Who'd y'all have? Who's the slot that y'all? I hate to.
We've had tons.
No, just this past year. He was not as athletically inclined as maybe the rest of the players.
I know what you're trying to say.
No, I'm just asking if you could recall. I can't think of what his name is. So if anybody,
I'm just gonna let you sit here and hang on it. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's let you figure it out before I even say his name.
No, but anyway, Will Hastings 7 for 75, Darius Slayton 3 for 65, Jalen Harris 2 for 19, and Marcus McLean 2 for 73. But again, C.J. Talbert 9 for 30. He's going to be. He's going to be a contributor, I think, and he's very athletic. You saw what he was able to do on the high school field at Dable, and to see that transition over, takeaway over for how that could transition over into the collegiate side, I think he bodes well for that. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I know you have been anti-Auburn for quite some time, so I just want to get your thoughts on.
To be honest with you, you asked me what I was paying attention to this weekend. I don't think I even looked at the stats.
Sergio.
I watched Sergio. Exactly. It was nice to see him finally win that major tournament, man. Like, it really was. The way that he tried to choke it away at the very end and still was able to pull it off in the playoff was a lot of fun to watch. And that's really the best tournament in golf.
I think it's the best thing ever. Like,
it is.
If I had any option to choose any sporting event, I think I saw something on Twitter. It was like, I think we talked about it. It was Super Bowl, Masters, NCAA football championship, and maybe like the basketball championship. Which one would you go to? And I really –
because what the Masters signifies too, like, it's the start of spring. Like, it's every year and every now and then it'll be cold, but usually it's beautiful outside. And that course is kept up like none other. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. So I think just watching that tournament, seeing perfection that they're playing on, you know what I mean? Those type of things. It's just an exciting time. Spring's right on the corner, summer's almost here, and then you're getting some of the best golf, the most tradition there is. Us Bama fans are big on tradition.
Wow. Well, I mean, speaking of tradition, speaking of winning, the Cavs, Spurs, Warriors, a lot of your premier teams have been really catching more flack than usual this season about resting their players. What are your thoughts on guys taking rest, and does that, if the Cavs were to go ahead and go win, a lot of people have been saying, that pretty much diminishes what the regular season is, and they're turning their nose up at it and say, hey, we don't really care, which it isn't about that. I mean, it's honestly about the championship. So what do you feel on that topic?
I mean, they're playing 82 games a year, a lot of them back-to-back. When's the last time you went around and played full-court basketball and then turn around and try to play the next day? Different city. It's impossible, man. Like, what's the point? If LeBron's taking days off and all of a sudden they're a 6 seed, then talk to me. Okay,
goes from a 1 to a 2.
Just talk to me. Oh, but yeah, he's a half game out of being in the first place in the East. He's been to 7 straight conference finals. Don't. And he said it the best too. They asked him, I think it was last week. They had a game Wednesday against the Celtics, and they were like, "Oh, LeBron, you get all this big game against the Celtics tonight. I know some of you guys are resting, yada, yada, yada. What do you think? He said, I've been to 7 straight conference finals. He said, don't talk to me about a Wednesday night game in Boston. And I don't blame him one bit. Whenever, if they're not making the season important, and the season's too long as it is, which I don't mind. I like watching NBA basketball anyway. But if they're winning and they're getting the same results and they're getting their same seed and everything else, get off of them. I mean,
that's pretty much where I am. I mean, I do get it from the standpoint of if I've been working, some people may have delayed or kind of altered their Christmas plans, and this could have been a Christmas present maybe for their kids to say, we're going to go watch. He only comes to Memphis once a year. And I mean, that is, but I mean, I guess it's a little different though, because with football, you're only playing 16 games. So it's a little,
yeah, exactly.
It's
so different.
Yeah, but I think there's ways to punish them, and that's to not watch the games or to not go to the games. Like if they're not playing, nobody come. And so
I don't even think that's going to matter either. Just let the TV network say, all right, we're not going to pay you for those games. We're not going to cover those games. That's where the money's at in the TV deal anyway. They don't care about the fans. I mean, I'm sure it's a small but they don't care.
Man, I bet they do. That's what NBA is the most. See, NBA is the most fan-oriented sport of any of them because you can actually see the faces of these people. Like there's no mask, there's no hat, there's no anything. Like there's really a intimacy between the fan and the athlete that you don't see in other levels of competition. I think that's really the only difference. I think that's why somebody that is so identifiable with these guys is because you see them. And so I think that really plays more into it. But I don't know. I don't have a problem with it, honestly, because it is about, June. That's what matters. So,
that's all that matters. And if the thing is they got to play 82 games, and then they got to turn around and play a 7-game series in the first round, 7-game series in the second round, 7-game series in the third round. The playoff is like a second season. They're going to end up I think you got to win like 28 games to win a championship if you go all 7 or I forgot what it was. But I know it's at least 30 games.
Minimum. If you swept the entire thing, so you're looking at 16 more games.
Yeah,
minimum.
16 games.
Minimum 16 more games if you won the championship.
That's almost a fifth of the season.
Then if it's in an Olympic year, you're playing those
you're
games.
mad because he skipped the game in Memphis on March 26th? Come on.
No, I mean.
Come on, guys.
I get it. But anyways,
and then the faithful will say, well, Jordan never skipped games. Oh,
he took a year and a half off.
Exactly. Thank you.
He took a year and a half off. So I think there's a little different standard there. But again, just want to relay again that, and no pun intended, that the Relay for Life donations for JRs will take place this month. They are the charity of choice for JR Sports Bar and Grill for their karaoke night, which starts at 8 o'clock each and every Wednesday. I know that's been a very popular thing and attraction for JRs and to the downtown area. So I'm really just loving to see the springtime happen in Alex City and in the Lake Martin area, because that's when things start to happen. Things start to heat up on the baseball and the softball diamond. Soccer's in the thick of things. Golf just won another tournament yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So we do need to make sure that we highlight them. They've been doing out. So that's probably the best team so far in the spring sports has been the golf team. So they've got a strong foundation of kids, a lot of young guys, a lot of freshmen, sophomore guys that they could legitimately make a run for a state championship on the golf end. Now, granted, have to go up against a team that's always kind of going to be a thorn in our side, and that's Spanish Fort. But all in all, that's probably been the most productive team in the spring sports.
Can we just get away from them?
Seriously, go to 7A.
Seriously,
7A.
Go on somewhere. Stop matching up with us.
But talking about going on somewhere, I think Adam and I are going to go do the same thing. I will join Andy Graham on the 7 to 9 side, so make sure you guys tune into that. I'm sure we'll be talking all things Auburn because we have no Bammers.
All things
no
Stidham.
Bammers today. Stidham.
Go ahead and prepare yourself for a Heisman prediction tonight, a national championship prediction.
I can't remember what number he wore, but whatever his number is, he's that guy.
I hope he wears number 6.
Man, I hope he does wear 6 again. Somebody needs to do something.
And he has 6 wins.
Any parting shots as we head out, Blake?
That's it, man. That's all I got.
All right.
I'm done with Stidham. That's all I got on Stidham.
For the great people in the back, both producers as on the radio and TV side, Adam Blankenship, And Scott Hardy here saying, thank you for joining the Late Morning Sports Roundup. See you next week.